Good afternoon, everybody. So, little update to the 560 RT2 track. It's in the shop here, as you can see. We're just doing a little bit of work to it. I'm not so much. I just happen to be here trying to tie up some other loose ends. So, some of the things that are getting done is, well, first of all, you know that I hate plastic fuel tanks. This actually has plastic fuel tanks, just like the 4-track. The vents weren't working, so it was actually trying to suck down the plastic fuel tanks. So we're resolving that. It's a new shop cat. Don't know the name. I just call it Black Cat because it's kind of black. So I guess it's kind of a lame name. But anyways, some other things that we're doing is, as you know, that this thing rides terribly rough, right? This is the roughest tractor that I have ever personally driven, and it is the roughest tractor that anyone has driven on our farm, other than maybe an old steel-wheeled Wallace tractor. This one might still be rough. Anyways, it's so violently rough that it has been known to break its own weights off. So as you can see, there's a set of weights that goes on here. I think they're actually over here. Oh no, this might be this side. Also lost a set of weights in here. See, but you can't see this. But it actually broke this cast off where the bolt goes through. It's actually breaking the cast, right? So that tells you how violent this thing rides when it will break its own weights off. Yeah, so that cast set goes up in the inside there. Because there is weights, it should look like this, okay? And then this side, it broke off because we use this on a grain cart as well, right? And we do not grain cart fast, just for the record. Like if you're going over 10 miles an hour, that is borderline too fast for a grain cart around our camp. In saying that, I know farms that will hit 20 miles an hour as fast as that tractor will take or down the field, but we have speed limits on our farm. But in saying that, it is still violently rough. And here's the other weight right here that we have to put back on. I believe on this one, it broke the bolts. So, we're gonna fix the vents. We got to put our weights back on, and also over here, these tracks are pretty much done. I think this tractor has about 4,000 hours on it now. These are the original tracks, and we have new tracks for it. Let's go take a look at them. It's getting kind of dark. We had to go to another shop over here. We got the 4 tracks and sprayers and some stuff in the shop, but right here, here's one set of tracks. And here's the other set of tracks. So, look at these bad boys. Don't they look beautiful? Huh? That's awesome. I love new rubber. It's kind of cold out there still. So anyway, we're going to bring those 2 pallets worth of the tracks in the shop. We're going to warm those things up. And then they're going to release the hydraulic pressure on here. And we're going to change tracks. I personally have not changed tracks. They have taken them off our grain cart because last fall we were doing a bunch of grain cart maintenance, pulled the tracks off, and they did all the bearings on the idlers. I think there might be an idler on here. It might be on the inside. These rubbers are starting to get bad. We might re-rubber. See, this one's better. This is getting kind of eaten up. These ones are getting, oh yeah, this one's almost shot. See? Well, maybe you guys can't see that. Can you see it back here? Right there. See, that idler only has actually half its rubber on there. So we might put some new rubbers on a couple idlers. We're not going to do them all, because obviously this one's fine. As long as all the rubber's there, it's good enough. But they're not going to do that until, see on the inside, this one might already be gone. Yeah, that one's gone. Actually, was it this spring? I think it was this spring. We actually stopped on the highway because Jared noticed, because Jared typically runs his tractor. He noticed that he actually lost rubber because it kind of went, boo, kind of took off on him. So then, the old 560 RT doesn't have the best lights in the world. So they're adding a few for the back. I don't know if they're going to put anything up there on the front as of yet. Then this one has the hydraulic hitch right here. Pretty much can't run these things on a drill without having a hydraulic hitch. Oh, it is not automatic. The Fendt 2-track that we demoed last year, it was automatic. This one is manual off the hydraulic switch in the cab. Jared's pretty much got that down to a science right now. This tractor, with all of its weights on it, runs around that 57,000-ish pounds, give or take. Obviously, they were doing a service. They did oil, they did fuel, all the filters. Basically, kind of giving it a whole once through here. I can tell you what I think it really needs. So I think it needs a little shine. Needs a little polish. Also, last year, especially last harvest, I think I did some videos on it. I can't remember, because I can't remember what I actually do videos on anymore. But we were having a lot of trouble with this tractor. Its particulate filter, I think, was full, so I think they had to put a different particulate filter in. But also, there was a wiring harness in here somewhere that was shorting out. And you could literally just be driving the tractor with the grain cart at our max speed of like 10 mile an hour across the field, and just kills the tractor dead. Like, just shuts it right off in the field, like while you're driving. And obviously that's incredibly hard on stuff, so they would fire it back up and everything would seem fine. And then you would be going across the drill runs, because they're 12-inch spacing, so they're incredibly rough. Like, you can't ride this thing. You got to wear your seatbelt in there when you're driving, even at 10 mile an hour. That's how rough it is. And all of a sudden the lights will start turning on and off, windshield wipers start going, lights will start going on and off. So it does a lot of weird things. We think that we got that ironed out. There was a wiring harness that they had to change. And I think even one of the monitors, I can't remember, maybe the one on the tractor there, that one, I think they maybe put a new monitor on. Don't quote me on that. There was a couple other things that they had to do. But yeah, it had some serious, weird electronic gremlins that I hope that we have worked out right now. So these are things that we work on. Like, we already had the 2 combines in, remember? I kind of gave you a little update. We had tires off, duals off. They were doing a whole pile of stuff. I put $15,000 worth of parts just into my 690 alone, but it has about 1,500 separator hours, and it was about that time it was due. Then we finished Dad's combine. He didn't have anything to do with his combine. It was just a few little odds and ends. That was about it. And then they're running this one through. We already put some 4-tracks in here and did some servicing on them. Basically just your simple fuel, oil, filter, and air and all that fun stuff. Give it a little polish and you're good to go. And then we're bringing some sprayers in, working on some sprayers. So this is kind of like, these are like the things that we do during the winter, as well as hauling grain. And as you know, we don't have any grain to haul this year. The crop went all of 2 bushel an acre, and we got to keep pretty much 1.78 bushels or 2 bushels back for seed. So that tells you can pretty much sell like maybe a couple loads, and that's about it. So that's all we're doing. So now it's pretty much just shop work, working on stuff, trying to get ready to go for seeding, because it is almost March, and spring is coming, you guys. And as you can tell, our sun is going down. Our days are getting longer. Let's see what time it is. Actually 7 p.m. So it's a beautiful 7 p.m. It's actually not too cold out right now. As you can tell, we do have some equipment around here that we're working on, and there's one of the case red sprayers right over there. I think that one is all done, ready to rock and roll. We're going to bring up another one once we get this other bay cleared out. And when we're not working on equipment, we're also working on semis, we're working on trailers, and that's just kind of what we do. That's just life. You can tell, we did get a few little flurries down here. The minute that it gets above 0 for like 3 degrees or so, it's all going to disappear. We don't got very much, but yeah, so that's kind of what we do. Mike, I got some questions. How come we don't actually see you like working on this stuff? Well, that's a really good question. I normally just kind of come in and give some updates. Mike pretty much lives on the road. He's coordinating, he's managing. My office, lots of times during the winter, is a desk. It is going through spreadsheets. It is going through Microsoft Works. It is going through printing stuff off, figuring stuff, booking stuff, looking at soil samples, trying to make plans, having meetings with the family, you know, that kind of stuff. Not so much the hands-on day-to-day in the shop, but that's just the role that I have. Also, I'll note that shop videos don't normally do very well. It's true. Everybody wants to see a shop video, but when a shop video comes out, there's like, nah, I'm not interested. They want to see the equipment going down the field. They want to see it operating. You guys aren't too interested, according to views, aren't super interested in actually pulling wrenches. And actually that works really good for Mike, because you know that Mike is no mechanic. He's not big in pulling wrenches, so That's just fine. Remember when we were doing all the bearings? Remember then we had the drills parked out here? Last winter, we were working on all the drills, right? We pulled off every packer. We were pulling out every bearing. We were repacking with grease every single bearing, and we did like a few hundred of them, or however many there were. And we did some videos about that, and it was like, people were like, it's shop work. So my experience is, shop work's cool until you have to do shop work videos, and then people are like, lost interest. That's why I kind of come in here, just give you guys a little update, show you what's going on, tell you what's going on, inform you of these things, and then we just kind of move on. So now you guys know, and I will catch you guys on the flipper. Adios, amigos. Oh, right, I'm back. Also, I forgot to mention, congratulations to Dwayne for being selected, being chosen for the $1,000 donation. And also to, I do believe it's Scott Parsons for the $350 donation, and Greg Lawson for the $150 donation that was contributed to the 2021 year. Yes, I know I'm a little bit late. Stuck polls that we got to do. So congratulations, guys. And I look forward to the 2022. So stay tuned for that.